Hey everyone, welcome back to a very special Halloween episode of Up Late App State, the most horrifying show on App TV. I'm Annie Jones.
And I'm Morgan Mullis. It's that spooky time of year again, so you know what that means. Ghost, witchcraft, drinking on weeknights.
All of my favorite things.
Good to see you're in the Halloween spirit. What are you gonna be?
Probably a cat or something. Nice The Edge from U2 costume, by the way.
I'm supposed to be a lumberjack. This isn't even my real costume. Anyways.
Oh yeah, what are you gonna be?
Same thing I am every year. Drunk out of my mind.
Now let's get down to what's haunting the high country.
Let's start with the most important news. App State football has officially been ranked 25th for the first time in school history.
While exciting, this is not the first time App has been ranked. Appalachian was ranked third in colleges to never wear shoes, fifth in colleges where being a business major makes you important, and first in colleges where eating anything that wasn't made by a struggling local farmer is punishable heresy.
Speaking of the high country, Canada has officially legalized recreational marijuana.
We don't even have a joke for that, we just think it's pretty cool.
The political organization Democracy NC made a stop in Watauga County to advocate against new amendments to the North Carolina state constitution.
The NC House of Reps has been accused of orchestrating a power grab against Governor Cooper as the language used in amendments such as the Let Us Do What We Want amendment and the Governor Stinks amendment hint at such goals.
Other such heinous amendments include one amendment that would require that orange juice is the official breakfast drink of North Carolina. Take it from me, Frosted Flakes with OJ don't mix.
Unfortunately, due to high winds, the Woolly Worm Festival was canceled last week as all the woolly worms were blown away. Witnesses described the event as a torrential gale wind of mustaches and as though Burt Reynolds' upper lip took to the skies. In response, local lumberjack Hank Candyman has offered to replicate the festival for a case of craft beer.
Pi Sigma Epsilon is hosting a blood drive next month. They are expected to collect dozens of liters of life-saving blood for those in need. However, it is projected that whoever gets the blood will definitely be above the legal limit.
Since 2003, the state of North Carolina has seen a 92% decrease in what used to be the state's largest fall cash crop, candy corn.
We have Kyle, the last candy corn farmer in Boone, in the field with more details.
I've been farming candy corn for 40 years. My father was a candy corn farmer, and so was my father's father, and my father's father's father. This used to be all my family's farmland until urbanization took over and I was forced to sell a portion of the land last year when I couldn't make my tractor payments. In order to grow candy corn, you need a very wet environment. All the precipitation we get makes Boone an ideal location to grow. Harvesting the crop is a very labor-intensive job. Because candy corn is low to the ground, you gotta have strong knees because you'll be picking for hours on hours. People aren't buying candy corn like they used to. I took my first crop to market last week and left with 5 full barrels. 3 years ago, I could take 6 barrels of candy corn to market and sell it in 5 minutes. There's a lot of expenses on a farm: fertilizers, tractors, and other equipment. The only fertilizer you can use to grow candy corn with is ostrich poop. You know how hard it is to get your hands on some good quality ostrich poop? It's not easy, I'll tell you that. All these expenses start to add up. If I can't make a profit, I might have to sell the house.
Some people can be bad. Things they do, the things they say.
I know what I have to do, but I'm not ready to give it up.
Dying local industries, there's not much scarier than that. Anyways, what is Halloween without Halloween parties? Up next, we have our community events correspondent, Obadiah.
A pleasure as always. So, just because the scariest night of the year is on a weeknight doesn't mean you can't have some fun. So, for this year's election day...
No, Obadiah. We're looking for some more Halloween stuff.
Of course, my mistake. So, if you're a white girl who calls herself a witch just because she owns a deck of tarot cards, I've got the place for you. It's called Jonathan's Hair, and it's the last basement on the left. Jonathan's Hair has everything: skeletons, exoskeletons, bones, cartilage, sinew, an old man singing the Ghostbusters theme at a karaoke bar, and more bones.
Anything with less, well, bones.
Of course, if bones aren't your thing, there's another spot that's great if you're the kind of person who goes trick-or-treating even though you're too old for it. It's in that circle of mushrooms out in the forest where nothing grows, and it's called No God! Oh no!
Sounds intense.
It's got it all. A lab, eerie sights, monsters rising from slabs, mashes, laboratories in the castle east, master bedrooms where vampires feast, ghouls coming from humble abodes, and jolts from electrodes.
That's just the first 2 verses from the Monster Mash.
Well, if graveyard smashes aren't your scene, I've got one last option. This place is called Spookyville, and it's perfect for any upstanding citizen who's willing to headbutt frat guys in blackface on sight. It has everything. Rats, bats, cats, hats, the other kind of bats, 8 guys dressed like the curly-haired kid from Stranger Things, Philip Seymour Hoffman's reanimated corpse, gummy worms, 2 trash cans full of party juice, Alan Rickman's corpse, still dead, and a cult classic musical about a chalk-handed prankster who ding-dong ditches unsuspecting families and does a professional speaking circuit across the country, all while maintaining rhythm and timing on a long-form freestyle.
What in God's name is the musical called?
It's Chalky Doorbell's Lecture Flow, and you can find it all on an ancient Indian burial ground where anything you bury comes back to life.
Thanks, Obadiah. I think that's enough.
Anytime. Excuse me. Sorry, I got it. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I got it.
Yep. As you all know, Halloween is a favorite holiday for people of all ages.
That's right, but in recent years, there has been some concern over children's safety on the spookiest of days.
In response, a group was created, the Adults Against Deceptive Halloween Practices. We have a representative from the AADHP with us today, Megan LeCorkle.
Hello, hello, hello. It's fantastic to be here.
Oh, Megan?
That's the name, and don't you wear it out.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, Megan, what is it you do at the AADHP?
Well, you honey-haired scamp, our goal is to ensure the safety of our children this fall harvest festival.
Well, do you have any suggestions for parents or children that are trick-or-treating?
We have actually accumulated 5 essential rules this Halloween. Number 1, every candy is laced with not candy. Every single one, without a doubt. The only food you should give your children is raisins.
Raisins?
Yes, nature's candy. Number 2, whatever you do, do not take apples while trick-or-treating.
Wait, what's wrong with apples? They're healthy.
One word, razor blades. Every single apple is filled with razor blades. Third, do not dress up.
Wait, you're trying to tell me not only to refuse candy, but also refuse apples? And then not to dress up on Halloween? That defeats the point.
Well, tips 4 and 5 were to stay inside.
Yeah, you have nothing to offer. Why do you hate Halloween?
Well, I guess it started when I was a young girl.
Boo.
Are you booing me?
Boo!
This is so disrespectful.
Get out! Get lost! Get on! Scatter!
Halloween rules.
Yeah. Speaking of miserable Halloween creatures, here with us today we have Mr. Dracula himself. Thank you for being here.
Happy to be here! And please, call me Count. I think you guys are doing a really good thing by tackling the stigma of terraphobia. So many people call us monsters with their one-sided views from movies and scary stories, and it really gives us a bad rep. We have feelings and insecurities too.
Sorry, Count, but for some reason we are not picking you up on our monitor.
Could you please not interrupt me while I unveil my soul? Anyways, it all began when a woman named Tammy stabbed me in the heart, like literally with a wooden stake.
Mr. Dracula, we really can't see you on the...
Son of a... You know, I could be on a morning show right now if it wasn't such an imminent threat to my life. I mean, where do you guys get off constantly talking over your guests? It's like I'm invisible.
That's exactly what's happening. We've been trying to tell you that we can't see you on the monitors. Are you wearing something green?
I would be caught undead in green, you heathens.
Our sincerest apologies. We just can't see you.
No. You guys have nothing to be sorry about. I'm sorry. I just lose my temper sometimes because stuff like this has been happening my entire eternal life.
Well, what do you mean?
When I wake up in the morning, do you guys know what I see? Do you?
What does it count?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Come on, buddy. Give yourself some credit. You have so much to offer this world.
No, it's not that. I literally can't see my physical reflection in the mirror. And apparently your cameras for that matter.
Must be tough.
You have no idea. You think it's easy to maintain this constant sex symbol status when I can't even look in the mirror?
You probably get asked this a lot, but how do you shave?
You're so right, Annie. I do get asked that very intrusive and personal question quite a lot, and normally don't feel compelled to answer. But life is miserably long, so why in the Van Helsing not? I don't have to shave, if you must know. My constant anxiety of rejection and oblivion in this society tend to just make the hairs fall out. But I also have a hired personal shaver. Sometimes they get too personal, if you know what I mean.
I'd rather not know what you mean, so how about we just change the subject?
Thank you.
Do you find it difficult to adjust to modern times, especially when things like photographs and videos have such an influential presence in today's social media?
Oh, don't even get me started on selfies. I try to stay up to date and hip. I even keep trying to take aesthetic and tasteful pics next to the bodies of my victims. But it's kind of difficult to do a hashtag no filter when there's hashtag no Dracula in the picture.
Wait, did you say bodies of your victims?
Goodness gracious, is that the time already? I guess I better hit the hay before sunrise.
But it's 12 o'clock.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, up next we have a very special interview to show you all. He says his father abandoned him as soon as he was born because he was too ugly, and then only came back into his life to keep him from getting married. I got to sit down and have a chat with none other than Frankenstein's monster. A creature too hideous to find love, Frankenstein's monster. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. I would really appreciate you not calling me a monster. I mean, I know I'm like 30 corpses sewn together, but I still have feelings.
So, Frankenstein's monster, your father abandoned you at a very young age. Why do you think that he did that?
Yeah, like you said, I don't have a great relationship with my dad, so referring to me as his and monster kind of, it stings. It really stings. But anyway, yeah, all I remember was like this big burst of light and then suddenly dark. Next thing I know, I'm sitting up, looking around, and I see him just cowering in the corner. And so I scream, because I can't talk, right? He books it. Later, I went to his room while he was asleep to check on him, and he runs off again, so.
Seems like running off is kind of his thing.
Yeah, you could say that. Anyways, now I'm doing fine. I'm moving on. I actually paint landscapes now.
So wait, your dad has been abandoning you your whole life, and what does he do? He comes back to keep you from the one thing that could give you happiness? A wife? Is there anything that you would like to say to him?
I mean, that's not exactly the whole story, but yeah, he wasn't super helpful there. And I'm not set on making contact with him again, just given how things...
Well, you've got your chance, because waiting backstage, we have the man who ruined your life, none other than Dr. Victor Frankenstein.
Look who it is. Oh, what you gonna do, big man? Are you gonna strangle me
Okay,
too?
boys, calm down. Let's talk about this.
Oh, you know, that was an accident. Come on.
Oh, an accident. Which time, huh? Was it when you strangled my baby brother? Or when you strangled my best friend? Or maybe it was when you strangled my wife.
Slow down. We'll get to that. Let's just have a seat.
Can't believe you brought him on here.
All right, Victor, it's time to hear your side of the story. What happened that night when you made your monster here?
Hey, you know I don't like that.
Yeah, okay, I messed that up. I should have put a bag over his head or something. I don't know, but I mean, look at him. He's terrifying. He's hideous. Would you want to live with that?
You're saying you left just because the monster's ugly?
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay. Look, it's not my fault. He looks like Javier Bardem got hit with a flying lawnmower.
Okay, first of all, rude and unnecessary. And secondly, it literally is. Like, it's entirely your fault. You couldn't have just dug up a more handsome face or something?
Is that the only body part that he gave you that you're disappointed in?
Are you asking about my...
Hey now, there's nothing to be ashamed of down there.
Well, maybe if I ever got to use it.
Well, let's talk about that. Victor, your monster here claims that you wouldn't let him get married. What do you have to say about this?
It's not like I broke up his engagement or anything. I just refuse to make somebody as miserable as he is. He hates it when I tell this story. Being the drama queen he is, he strangles my baby brother just to get my attention since he can't just send a letter like a normal person. Then, I have to meet him at the top of a mountain, and he gives me some sob story about how the family he's stalking is scared of him. Next thing I know, he's begging me to stitch together another body that would have to live with him.
Okay, well, It's not like I can start a relationship with anyone else. Do you know how lonely it is being this hideous?
Well, clearly I can't say that I do.
Oh, you absolute narcissist. You disgust me.
Oh, I disgust you? I disgust you? You strangled my wife.
Yeah, how's that feel, not having someone to love? Huh? Plus she was your cousin, so...
I'll kill you.
Yeah, I'd like to see you try. You're the real monster here.
Oh, really? Who told you that? Your high school English teacher? At least I'm not some Raggedy Ann incel that goes around strangling people.
Oh, at least I'm not some cheap personification of man's defiance toward God.
Oh, cheap personification of God? I created you. As far as you're concerned, I am God.
Well, you're doing a pretty bad job of being God and keeping your friends alive.
Oh, well, you're pretty angsty for somebody who's literally never a teenager.
I hate you. I hate you.
Oh, sure. Everything's my fault. Just because I didn't hug you enough, you think you have to go off and kill everybody I care about. You just have to make my life miserable, don't you?
It's only fair. I spent my whole life without anyone in the world who loves me.
Oh, sure. I gave you life, but I don't love you. I'm so sorry that the things I've done for you haven't been enough.
This is getting a little out of hand, so that's going to be it for the segment. Thank you, Victor, Monster.
I never want to see you again.
I'll kill you. I'll do it. And I'll follow you to the ends of the earth if I have to.
Well, you'd better pack a jacket, dipwad, because where we're going, you're going to freeze your...
I think I need to call my dad.
Well, that's all the time we have left tonight. Be sure to find us at facebook.com/uplateupstate. You can also find us in abandoned mental wards, mysterious crystal balls, videotapes that tell you you're going to die in 7 days, and behind you in a dark bathroom mirror whenever you whisper Bloody Mary 3 times. I'm Annie Jones.
Now Morgan Mullis.
And thanks for staying up late at State.